Yo, what is good? My anniversary people. What is good, yo? So since there was mostly just punching in this week's episode of Golden Kamuy, I'll just try to punch mostly. I'll throw one kick every match. But God, if this show didn't have its weird undertones throughout this whole entire week, it would have been pretty amazing. Hopefully, this grab has punches in it. Alright. Um, but regardless of that, I think it's pretty funny how Golden Kamuy has just continued to come into its own. Like, there's nothing out there I can tell you Golden Kamuy is like to prepare you. Someone might know of something, but as of right now, on my mind, I truly can't just be like, oh yes, go watch this and such, because it's definitely no. Like, I honestly just couldn't put my finger on it, but this show is that unique. Not only does it have some instances of a little bit of food war because they pay attention so much to the detail of the meat and why the meat should be like the way it is and stuff like that, all the way to the point where they then start eating it and they describe, the texture or what they smell, stuff like that. So I'm actually pretty interested in where they're going to continue to, go with the food. Because in the very end of this week's episode, we saw them kill a sea lion, which I don't condone. I don't think you should be just shooting sea lions in the head, but to be fair, at times like this, no one would care. Like, if you straight up went up and told someone, hey, what you're doing is bad, and this time, they just look like you, like you're stupid. It's like, okay, well, you starve, I'll eat, bye. Like, they really did not care. So, also, to find out that sea lions have very strong bones in their head, if that is true, is also pretty messed up. Like, if that's the way you found out about it, that's super messed up. And I'm guessing since she is a huntress, she was only using arrows trying to break through their tough heads, and she said they're like bears, so you know how hard that could be. But regardless, I think we're in a pretty good position with Golden Kamuy. Um, I like the fact that they did leave this guy alive. The problem with leaving him alive, though, is he's then in jeopardy of two other groups that not only are looking for the tattoos, but by getting this, they have a location that you have, so not only that, you aren't really that safe when it comes down to the overall grand scheme of uh, of you trying to escape with all this knowledge and them not have any chance of finding you or tracking you, because you're pretty much allowing a big track to be out there. And I don't necessarily agree with that, but at the same time, I don't really think they need to kill every single person. He did tell them to head to the far west, and to be fair, they don't really need any of this stuff if they just catch up with the crew before they actually can get far enough to get the convoy and all that stuff. Because guess what? If you find them, you just get all the information they gathered and kill them. So even if they don't necessarily find every single tattoo, excuse me, they don't find every single tattoo wearer, it won't necessarily matter. And you know what's really going to be messed up in this show is if the person they shot in the head, who supposedly made the tattoos in the first place, still had some type of knowledge or interesting way of, kind of withholding that information in some way, shape, or form. Because then you're just screwed, right? Like, then you have no absolute chance of actually getting this, or if it's like locked safe under some weird thing, if you do it wrong, it kind of gets destroyed, you know? I would die laughing if all this time they grind for all this just to come to find out that they couldn't even collect it if they wanted to. So we'll see how this turns out. I definitely want to hear what you guys are thinking about Golden Kamuy, if it is something you are actually watching and keeping up with, because I know there's a lot of gore, there's a lot of naked man in here. I don't remember there being this much naked man in the first season, let alone this. There was a lot in the second season, but not this much. And I think it's just feels like a lot because it's the beginning of the show, and that's all we've seen. We've seen pictures of naked men, then we see naked men inside of a sauna slapping each other with supposed branches or something that make you even hotter in the sauna. So it's like, all right, we get it. You got muscular guys, and I guess you want them to do whatever you see fit, but don't expect me to pay too much attention to those small details ever again, okay? Okay. But with all that being said, I did really enjoy seeing the Wolverine kind of just show back up. I kind of thought it was going to show up once they saw the old man run into into the woods, just simply because that's the only time we've really seen it is when they roam into its domain, and of course it would just be posted up on a tree waiting for its next meal or next tattoos, which I was actually kind of interested in seeing if it destroyed a little bit of the ink or like ripped off some of his skin, but I guess they saved it in time, so that's always good. With all that being said, though, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be when you're watching this. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will definitely talk to you sooner than later. Peace.